Have you ever wondered what kind of books I'm reading? I brought a few of them over here over the past few weeks, but I want to keep that trend continuing because I've been reading books for probably 7 years now in the context of self-help and personal development. And I've read a lot of books, some good, some not so good. Some of them have moved the needle a long way, and some just moved it a few inches. So on each Monday, I'm going to be dropping a book that helped me get where I am today. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be doing it, but I definitely could probably see it for at least the next 3 months because I've got a lot of books that I want to drop, and I want to bring some intentionality to the schedule and hopefully some future expectations that you can get excited about Mondays because I'm dropping a new book. Now, that doesn't give you much time to read each book, but hopefully each book will be one that like, ooh, that's a book I need, or maybe not every book will resonate, but another book might. So look forward to that coming for future Mondays. Rant over and on to the first book. A book that really changed everything in my context of understanding leadership was The Advantage by Patrick Lencioni. I don't actually remember where this book first came into my life. It might have been on a podcast where Patrick Lencioni was talking about it, but this book is foundational in understanding what you might have right in your organization and what you might have wrong in your organization. The book doesn't have anything to do with fatherhood, but it has everything to do with leadership, and in the consequence can have everything to do with fatherhood, because the book, the premise is the only advantage in business is your culture, that everybody can take your strategy and do it better, cheaper, and faster, but no one can duplicate your culture. If your culture is a winning culture, all rowing in the same direction, you can do anything and you can react to the market 10 times faster than anyone else. And that culture will eat strategy for breakfast every day of the week and twice on Sunday. It's a foundational book that also highlights a lot of the success strategies done by Southwest Airlines as a leadership and essentially hiring for Southwest Airlines, from their brand of like, if you've ever flown Southwest Airlines, how do they create a cult-like following with just an airplane? A lot of that is woven in there. And I've always loved Southwest Airlines for their leadership philosophies and how they attract and work with people. Another one that I recently come on to play is WD-40. WD-40 has an amazing story behind that blue can that is very similar to a Southwest Airlines story. And until I met and heard about WD-40, I hadn't really moved anybody above Southwest Airlines. But I would even put WD-40 as having a stronger culture than Southwest Airlines. So your homework, if you choose to accept it, if your culture at work or your team is really struggling and you want to know how you can create a winning culture that you can execute any strategy that's handed down to you, read The Advantage by Patrick Lencioni. A lot of future books will be tied to the beginning of The Advantage, but this was the first book that sparked a whole growth journey on trying to figure out, what does it mean to be a heart-centered leader? What does it mean to have a heart-centered culture? And what does it mean to be hiring heart-centered people? There's one final word that I'll leave you about what I learned about how Southwest hires. And this speaks to why the advantage and culture is so much more important than strategy. That at Southwest Airlines, they generally, except for maybe like the pilot and the flight attendants, they can hire someone and teach them what they need to do. And they break it down even as simple as the people that vacuum and clean the airplanes. Like, we can hire someone to vacuum the airplanes, but we can't hire someone automatically and teach them to care about vacuuming the airplanes. So their motto for hiring is, we hire a person with heart and we train them for skill. That if they have the heart of hospitality to serve, be a servant leader, they can teach them what they need to do, but they can't teach them how to be a servant leader, how to be a heart-centered leader. That's a much more difficult task. And so this book will help highlight how a person's heart is more aligned to its effectiveness in the organization than oftentimes how well their skill sets is, or how well they're defined on paper, on the resume, or how many PhDs or bachelor's degrees or master's degrees they've acquired in their time. That is all I have for you today. Again, this will be a new Monday series coming at you. There'll be a link down in the show notes to go grab that book on Amazon. Have an amazing week. I'll be back again with you guys tomorrow.